Now, as promised, I'm going to reveal my Zen $1 Million Farm. That's what you clicked on the video for, right?
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo, more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Good Lord, we're getting closer to that island money day by day. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my Zen portfolio, my Zen mining, and actually I've kind of switched my thought process on this. And it's like, I feel like a miner, like I'm mining these coins. And you know, once you really get into it and start doing your ladders, you're gonna feel the same way. So let's first talk about Zen and Shablami. $885,000 in dashboard money. Okay, now I promised you $1 million farm, and I'll get there. So Zen on ETH is just absolutely crushing it. So let's talk about ETH first. So it's mooning pretty hard. Now the problem, ETH gas is still just pounding everybody. So if we go to the 1 day, we were hoping for the last 2 weekends we were going to get that dip, and it just hasn't really happened that much. Like I said, like if you can squeeze a mint in around 17.1, it might go through this weekend. So what does that mean for a mint? It's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be like $700 to $1,000 roughly, which takes me over to, if you're just getting started in Zen and you're trying to get a Centurion, troll the NFTs, okay? Troll the NFTs, because I mean this is about $1,100, but I think I calculated right earlier today it was going to be like 0.5 ETH. But if you put it down at like 17.1, 17.5, you might be in that $700 range, okay? So don't give up. And most definitely on BSC, I've noticed, you know, we had those early days where you could squeeze in those mints at 1.1, 1.2, and they hang now. It's really hard to get them through. So if you're trying to accumulate a lot on BSC, honestly, it's just easier to come over here and sweep. You know, I use the sweep function when I was building up my bags, and you can just sweep how many ever you want, right? Because this is still cheap, because I've put ones out there even two. So one is going to be $30. Well, it's going to be more expensive because BNB is up. 2, 60, 90, 100. It's $150 at 5, but I've even had 5s hang, because remember, you're filling the block. And I think that's why some of these Centurions lately, they'll be short of the max VMUs, but I definitely established my Centurion position by using OpenSea. It was a lot less frustrating. It was much more efficient to build my bags, okay? Talking about Poly, as far as Polygon goes, it is cheap, okay? It's glitchy and frustrating, but it's cheap. Usually about 6 to 8 Matic per Centurion, and then you basically just start stacking, okay? So those haven't been too bad. Avalanche, I did go ahead and start doing Centurions on Avalanche. The Avalanche experience was very smooth, but I'll tell you, you have to work for your coins on Avalanche, because it's a smooth experience because no one's over there, but the max VMU is only 38, so it's a lot harder to get those coins. Now, that's why there's probably so many Zunicorns left. Avalanche is one of the only chains where there's like, I think there was 97. So only 1 or 2 Zunicorns have been purchased on the Avalanche side. So, you know, honestly, to ladder out Avalanche was not that bad. So in the terms of easiness right now, Avalanche super easy, Polygon cheap, but a little frustrating because of failed TXs. Like you'll pound 10 of them in there, and then it'll start to glitch, and you'll get failed TXs, and then you just kind of back off for a while, and then wait a few minutes, and then start up again. BSC, hard to get those cheap prices that we got. That's why I recommend going over to OpenSea and actually BSC, OpenSea, and just sweeping these. Just make sure you zoom in on them to make sure the VMU count is up there with what you're trying to do. Now, as promised, I'm going to reveal my Zen $1 Million Farm. That's what you clicked on the video for, right? All right, so here it is. ETH 158 billion. 870, that's been varying 870 to 920. My costs, I got a lot of Zents early, so I had about 25,000. Now cost now is probably closer to 1100, so to get established the same position as 56,000. Now I max minted everything, and like I said, this is the one where I have not laddered out my ETH stakes yet. Okay, and when I say ladder out, not just max minting and max VMU, I'm talking about doing a 30, 60, 90, 120, whatever it is. Okay, BNB, this is a no-brainer in my opinion. 1.5 trillion coins. If you get a goal for BNB, 100 billion or a trillion is a great goal. These are all Centurions, and I'm still working on minting the ladder out on this. So that was about 7,000. Now that's at the lower price. Now keep in mind, I scooped a lot of these at $30 when they were dumping them for 0.09. But it is what it is. Poly, trillion coins. Once again, a trillion is a great number to target. About 36,000. I did on Poly, I did a whole bunch of max VMUs. 10. Well, actually, what I did on Poly, I think I was like 93. Yeah. Okay. So basically, on the chains that you can ladder it out, this is how I did it because it was cheap on Poly. Remember, I only had what, $2,100. $2,100, and I got a trillion coins. Now, you know how Shiba, you know how all these work. It's no-brainer. So this is the strategy I was talking about, so that I have coins coming in. So I'm going to continue to mint once a month max time frame. But these are all the ladders that I filled in, okay? So I did 10 at each level, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. So literally every month I have a ton of coins coming in. Now, some of these are going to be unprofitable, as I stated, but my goal is not to sell the coins. My goal is to have coins in my hands so that I can participate in new ecosystem stuff, and then also, just be able to stack. Because keep this in mind, most people will sell too soon. And Zen, as far as how it's lined up with a bull run, it could be the perfect storm. Okay, perfect storm. So on AVAX, very similar. Now AVAX was dirt cheap, less than $1,000 to ladder at AVAX out. So on AVAX, I basically did 93 max time, max at, and then I filled in all the levels at 10. This was probably pretty easy. This only took me, I don't know, 2 hours to do this ladder. And the nice thing about doing the ladder in batches is you don't have everything coming due all at the same time. You don't want to break it up because then it makes it hard to manage your NFTs. And as I stated, I'm still waiting for Zen Turbo to freaking get off their butt and add the other chains so that you can monitor your stacks properly and know when these mints are coming up. But for now, I just have to track it. Now you're like, that's a lot to keep in track of. Well, whatever, that's crypto life. BSC, I'm still doing some testing with how the GUI has been lately. It's like I said, it's a little glitchy, and I don't want to overpay to get these ladders going. So I'm still working on those ladders. So this, when I talk about Zen, I talk about island money. We're at the bottom, and it's $1 million farm. So if this is 50, 100x, I got 50 to $100 million. If I can't find an island for that, maybe I'll just buy a penthouse apartment. So that is back to the island money that I talk about. So I'll just continue to update this. So like I said, I'm working on my ladders on BNB. I'll probably have a follow-up video on the best strategy on this, but their pool has been really glitchy because the secondary nodes sometimes just don't pick up the transactions. And I looked at that, and it can just be swamped. So that is my Zen $1 million farm. That is dashboard money. And keep in mind that is a long-term vision. But the idea here is to plant your seeds now and reap the rewards in the future. On to elephant.money, sitting at 1357, totally killing it. If you're new to elephant.money is a DeFi project on BSC. And I've been involved in it for a long time. There's an elephant token, and then there's also a DeFi protocol that pays 0.5% a day. So I've got about 115,000 in elephant, 856 billion. I really need to get this up to a solid trilly. Slacking a little bit there. So elephant doing really well. My futures account sitting at 84,000. So I put 50,000 in originally. And let's see here. Okay. All right. So the way futures works is you make a deposit, you make 0.5% a day, and to compound, if you don't want just simple interest, you have to deposit $200. So I just deposit my 2 bones. And on this note, if you're not using Rabby, man, seriously, bro, this thing is absolute fire beyond fire. I would not have been able to do all that Zen staking if I didn't have Rabby. So 86,291 up 36,291. So not bad, not bad. Protocol is still just killing it. It's been running 84 days. So where else are you going to make $36,000 in 84 days? So like I said, my strategy is to run this into the parabolic curve of elephant. So that probably puts me at like $250,000 or something like that on there before I would even consider starting to take any yield. We did have some big dogs. I'm not the biggest dog, but I'm in Stampede too. There's 142,000 wallet. So yeah, very nice, very nice. Max payout on that is 2.5 mil. Let's see, BUSD. This is the treasury. So this is what we talk about. Oh, look at that. That is looking nice. Almost 127 trillion. And as we talked about before, the hockey stick of parabola was starting around the 150, 160. But keep in mind, we have dual pools now. We have BUSD and BNB. So it might push up. It could push up into 160, 170 before elephant really starts to go bananas. So if you haven't checked it out, if you're in Zen, you should be in elephant.money. It is one of the best DeFi protocols out there, and the dev is on point and never stops building. So that is today's video. I hope you like it. Get those gains and get your island. As always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.
No.